What?
Robots. Robots.
I know.
It's like Christmas.
I know. Contain yourself, at least until we introduce our next guest.
Okay.
And that would be Mark DeMora, the instructor for robotics at the Wicomico Public Library. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
We're going to talk a little bit about a robotics club. Tell us, what is that?
So the robotics club at the Wicomico Library has been going on for about 4 years now. And basically what it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a club for people, for kids mostly, that are interested in robotics. So 8 to 15 years old is our target range. They come in and they learn just the very basics of what a robot is, how they work, how they can make their own, how they can program it totally from scratch. There's no background knowledge needed at all. We have people that have never seen a robot in their life, kids that have never even built with Legos before, that have come in and have built robots such as the ones you see here that are incredibly complex and have programmed them from scratch.
Yeah.
And so it's meant to be just to introduce them to the ideas behind it.
You guys host a lot of activities.
We host a lot at the library now. The library is not just about books anymore.
Yeah.
We do a lot of STEM activities at the library now.
Okay, so tell us, you brought a few robots with us, or with you. Tell us about them.
So we have robots here that are programmed with things called Arduinos, and we also have what are called Lego robotics. And so Lego makes these, and everything you see there is entirely Lego.
Really?
You know, Lego bricks, Lego blocks, Lego motors, Lego sensors, everything there is made by Lego. And so you can get these kits in the stores. They tend to be a little pricey though, which is why we have them at the library, because you know not everybody can necessarily afford to buy a $350 robot. And so we offer this as a program for be able to help kids who just are interested in it but may not have access to it, especially underprivileged kids.
And this one actually moves.
Yes, it moves. Do you want to see it?
Yeah.
You see this L little right there? This L right here? Just flip it up. Yes.
I can't see
flip it
it.
up.
Just push it up.
That one.
Yep, that.
and move your hand out of the way.
And then move your hand out of the way a little
Is it
bit.
going to take off?
I wish.
So we need to call for clearance before that.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's
Arduinos. What is Arduinos?
an Arduino is a company that makes a robot that runs using what's called C++. It's a programming language that's used in the aerospace industry quite a bit. And so in one of the programs called Zero Robotics, and also in our robotics club, we also teach the kids a little bit about C++, an actual programming language that they could use when they go into their careers as an adult.
Wow.
And so a couple of the robots you see here are programmed with Arduinos. It's the name of the actual chip that actually runs it. And so do you want to see one of them run?
Yeah,
Okay.
absolutely.
I'm going to run this one. I'm going to plug it in. And this is one of those interesting ones where actually instead of it being just like a robot that necessarily moves around and or flies or drives, this is a robot I actually attached a little bit of a clip to, and you can actually make art.
Really?
Oh.
And so
yeah, it's a Sharpie in it.
Yeah, I have a Sharpie right here, and I'm just going to bring that down, and then I'm going to push that in, and then in a second here, you can have it actually moving around. It has a program on it that one of the kids wrote, and basically...
The kids?
Yes. All of the kids write these programs. They build these, write these, so they're not done by me. I give them ideas, I give them tricks, I give them hints about how they work, and how the program, could be better, but I don't write these things, and it's going with me.
How about that?
Yeah.
And so this is just one of many different types of robots that we actually use all the time in Robotics Club and in our Zero Robotics program.
Okay, so obviously you just mentioned that these kids are writing programs. This is important, isn't it?
Incredibly important.
Why is that?
So the future of science, technology, engineering, math, all of that is revolving around computers. Computers, of course, run with programming and coding, and really there is a huge lack of needed knowledge by professionals in order to be able to code and write programs and just all those kinds of technical skills involved with robotics. Even the engineering aspect of being able to effectively build a robot that's going to do something. It's even going to move and complete its tasks. There's a huge lack of actual knowledge and true expertise in the field these days. And in the future, because we're trying to go to Mars in a few years, we need scientists that have these skills. And so you got to start them young. You got to start them as long as 7, 8 years old, even younger in some cases, to be able to get them these skills so that when they go to college, they'll go into a STEM field, because there's a huge lack of, STEM, there's a huge gap in the STEM fields in terms of having people that graduate that can go into these fields, about 50%.
And you were talking about Zero Robotics. And that's something
That's actually, I call that the spin-off of the Robotics Club, but it's one of the programs we're most proud of at the library. So the Zero Robotics Club is actually a partnership between MIT, NASA, Northrop Grumman, and the Department of Defense. And what basically happens is that the kids program these robots called spheres using C++ on the International Space Station. Right. This is an example of one of the spheres that is on the International Space Station right now. So the kids at the library come in, and this is an intense 5-week program over the summer for 20 hours a week, and they learn C++ totally from scratch. Most of them have never seen anything like it at all. So we teach them C++, and then they learn to program these robots that basically are floating around right now on the International Space Station.
Amazing.
Oh my goodness.
And so one of the big things that ended up being like really amazing is that we've done the Zero Robotics program for 3 years. In 2014, we faced off against a number of other schools that had like connections with MIT,
right,
with the University of California, the University of Texas, at Austin, University of Florida. The Wacomico Library were the national champions in 2014.
Yes.
So
all right. Well, that's wonderful.
We were very proud of that, and we've represented Maryland for each of the 3 years that we've done it.
Mark, thank you so much for bringing this. This is some awesome stuff.
And if you would like to read more about the robotics classes at Wacomico Public Library, just go to our website, delmarvalife.com. Thank you so much.